Toroa took to the harbour today, her first trip since being laid up 5 years ago. But she didn't go very far, and it wasn't under her own steam, as Roger Price reports.
The 1960s, the good old days for the steamship Toroa, when she was a regular on the Devonport run. Even then, though, her fate was sealed. The bridge was up and commuters were finding new ways to cross Auckland harbour. West Haven Marina today. After 5 years lying derelict, the Toroa is about to be given a new lease of life. Bought for a nominal $1 by the New Zealand Maritime Trust, the 70-year-old steamship is to be taken to a new berth for a major restoration job. It's a big day for Trust members. What's so special about the Toroa?
Well, she's the last of the double-ended, double-driven ferries in the world. Steam vessel, and it'd be a complete disaster for Auckland if we didn't save her.
Today, 2 tugs were called in to tow the Toroa away from the berth which only 2 months ago was earmarked as the spot where she'd be chopped up for firewood. New Zealand Maritime Trust has much grander plans for her than that. She's to be restored to full working order and outfitted as a cruising ferry. Daily trips around the harbour as well as excursions to Kawau, Pakatoa and Waiheke are envisaged. The job is expected to cost $500,000. The Trust plans a public appeal to raise the money. It's already managed to get $30,000 together to pay a bond to the Auckland Harbour Board. That's what the board required before it allowed the Toroa to be taken to its new berth alongside the viaduct basin. Half an hour after casting off in St Mary's Bay, Toroa ended her brief harbour trip. The enthusiasm on board was a tantalising taste of things to come.
That depends on how much support we get from the maritime people of Auckland and all the commuters from the North Shore who travelled so many years on her. We hope to have all their support. We'll need it.
Putting fire back in the belly of the Toroa then will be a big job, and an expensive one. But many would say it's a worthwhile investment in a city which is losing its past as quickly as Auckland is at the moment.
The Toroa heading for a facelift.
They've been granted a 2-month stay of execution in which they have to come up with nearly $250,000.
In the heyday of Auckland harbour crossings, ferries like the Toroa each carried more than 1,000 passengers across the Waitemata. There was a ferry every 20 minutes at peak times in those days, and they were powered by steam, more specifically 51 horsepower triple expansion steam engines. But today this once grand old lady of the Waitemata is but a shadow of her former self and desperately needs a massive injection of funds to save her from the wrecker's yard. The Harbour Board now says unless it's given a satisfactory restoration and funding program within 2 months, it'll take legal action to remove and demolish the old ferry, labelled derelict and possibly a health hazard. Now, Auckland barrister and Toroa enthusiast James Mason has a massive task on his hands, a task not made any easier by the state of the once proud veteran of the Waitemata.
We're determined to see that Toroa isn't lost the same as His Majesty's has been lost. So much of Auckland's history has been lost to sea. We can't let this last relic of the age of steam be lost to Auckland.
Now the hull's shipshape, the Trust says it has enough money to re-roof the cabin and fix the deck. As for the extra $200,000, it's confident the people of Auckland will come to the rescue.
We'll have to ask the people and business people of Auckland to help with that. We feel that the number of people who've travelled on her will come to our aid and make sure that the last of the steam ferries, the last steam ferry in the world of the type, isn't lost to Auckland.
Linda Franklin is a woman who has an intense love for the old ferry. It's been her home for the past 18 months. She and the crew have saved it from potential disaster several times. Vandals have cast it adrift and intruders have broken into cabins. Linda has definite views on Toroa's future.
This is her 63rd year. People know her. I'm always having people down here that I'm talking to that have sailed on her, that have either worked on her. People know that she's here and that she still exists. And, people would really like to see her back in action.
But now the clock is on and time is running out for the Toroa.
They had about 16 ferries, but most of those have now been broken up or buried in the reclamation under Westhaven. This is the last steamer remaining, and we must save the last one.
6th of the month, that's next Tuesday, to arrange finance for the massive restoration of the...
The old Toroa was on the move again today. The Harbour Board wanted her out of her semi-permanent home alongside the Western Viaduct. So, with the help of 2 willing tugboats, the 63-year-old veteran of the Auckland Harbour was shepherded to a new home, around by the cement works. But she could face the chainsaw next Tuesday. The Harbour Board wants her out of the harbour limits by then. That's unless funding for the $250,000 restoration job is settled. So far, the Restoration Society has raised only $50,000. But despite that, it's quietly confident it can get the money.
Yes, we have to be confident. There's no way we can let Toroa be lost to Auckland. She's the last of her kind in the world.
The Harbour Board seems to be fairly serious.
Yes, they are. The reports we've had are that they have made investigations where she can be broken up and how long it would take. But we're quite determined that Toroa won't be lost to Auckland.
It's aimed to restore the ferry in time to have her steaming on the harbour for the city's 150th birthday celebrations in 1990.
She's a beautiful old ship in the day, really nice. But as far as authorities go, I'm sure the Preservation Society can really show the Harbour Board and the Marine Department, etc., that something really constructive is going to be done with the Toroa. We're hoping that the business community and the people of Auckland will come to the party. Yeah.
Boy knocking holes in the bottom, per usual. Toroa under steam.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't mind having a bit of life in it.
Steam ferry Toroa foundered in high winds early today, but it's hoped that a major restoration project hasn't gone down with her. Michael Holland has that story.
A grand old lady at her lowest, sunk to the spirits of her admirers.
A deep sadness, a very deep sadness.
She's such a charming piece of Auckland's history. She's beautiful, and you really do have a love affair with her.
An affair that had her #1 fan racing for the wharf at 3 o'clock this morning, responding to an alarm triggered by water in the hull.
And we came down the hill with heart and mouth. And to find this was really the worst possible case, wasn't it?
The only blessing, 2 live-in caretakers originally thought to have been trapped were in fact not on board.
They've lost all their gear, and they're now homeless.
The 78-year-old craft is the only double-ended steam ferry left in the world. She was taken off the Devonport to Auckland run in 1980 and sold to a group of investors for $1. They'd planned a $1.2 million project to bring her back to life. The real tragedy, the ferry was only weeks away from finding safety in this floating dry dock, specially built for her restoration at a cost of almost $300,000. This woman lived on board until recently.
I had 5 winters on this boat, and you can imagine, there's no hot running water. So it was pretty rough living a lot of the time, but you still did it, and it was still great, and I'd do it all over again.
It's not known yet why the ferry sank, but it may not be her death knell.
She's too unique to lose if we can possibly save her.
Michael Holland, One Network News.
Marine experts and insurance assessors will inspect the Toroa tomorrow and decide if and how she can be salvaged.
Sweet ass. If you can pass it down to... No. Pass it down to him. He pass it across. Yeah, when you pass it up like that, we'll pass it out. Yeah. Wrong one. Fall over. Run the line out there to follow those vehicles. Go more if you want to, on your call. 35 plus about 8 for the frame. Gives us 37 on the bill before you... The range on your it's 88. Down to 88 now. Roger. Your left, John. You're at 32. I don't know. There you go, Chris. With the Gary Shore, sorry, John. What's your thoughts there? Okay. I think that's moved out. It's under 100 again and do it another stage. Of the rig there. Holding stop lapping, John. We'll just left now. Get close to your 95 tonne, just dump that lap. In and just keep it below the 100. Please over. Roger.
stop there, Chris. We'll just release the lines off the shoulder. We have to right it.
All stop.
Work this out.
Say again your last.
Just come up a little bit. We just so we can let these go.
Alright, coming up.
How do you? Coming down, Peter?
Yeah, I've got it on notch 1.
Hey, excellent.
68 tons left on it.
Volunteers have spent most of the day refloating the Toroa, which sank during a storm earlier this month. A crane and inflatable balloons were used to partly raise the vessel, and tonight water is being pumped out of the wreck. Extensive repair work will be needed, but the Preservation Society hopes to relaunch the ferry in time for Millennium celebration.